sick and I'm losing my voice and I'm shivering, so I have this coat on. So I apologize for that. Today, we have some simplex news to share with you. Before that though, we would like to talk about Nokta, competition, and the legend. Some may find this speech too direct or offensive. However, as a famous quote says, I will stand up and I will speak up, not to offend, but to defend. Currently, there is a lot of unfair practices going on in this industry, and many people are aware of it. Yet, people will not speak up, simply because either their earnings are at stake or they're simply afraid. But as Nokta, we're not, and we're gonna speak up on behalf of our company, and more importantly, the valued end users of this industry. As you know, Nokta has been growing very fast in this industry for the past few years. As some people refer to us only a few years ago as the new kid on the block, today became one of the leading manufacturers in this industry. And our competitors who looked down on us and who said, what? Nokta, who? When our name was mentioned, today are releasing a product to compete with our best-selling product in many countries around the world, to compete with us and basically eating their own words. MindLab, our dear competitor, when they released the Equinox 5-6 years ago, they said that their multi-IQ technology would obsolete all the single frequency detectors out there. So basically, by making this bold claim, they decided, as a manufacturer, they decided on behalf of all the consumers around the world and ignored what they wanted, but gave them what they wanted. They even made a lot of videos to promote and push the multi-IQ technology, even taking shots at their competitor that they were targeting at the time, which was Garrett. Meanwhile, Nokta was taking firm steps forward in this industry to be a leading player. When MindLab was raving and trying to claim that multi-IQ was the only solution to all the problems the detectors were having in this industry, we, Nokta, insisted on one thing: there is no perfect detector, period. Single frequency has its own advantages, and so does multi-frequency. MindLab also assured all their distributors, their dealers, and their consumers that they would never come out with another detector that didn't have multi-IQ. Oops, what did they release today, guys? The Xterra Pro, a single frequency detector. Now, some of you will say, oh, it has switchable frequencies. Doesn't matter. It runs on one single frequency. And the fancy names that they come up with, such as switchable frequency technology, is just another marketing gimmick that is insulting the intelligence of the end users of this industry. Because the switchable frequencies has been on our many detectors, like the Cruiser, like the Amphibio, which are no longer in production. So there is no technology there, it's just old news. And MindLab, on their own website, defines multi-frequency as follows, and this is directly from their website. When MindLab used the term multi-frequency, we mean simultaneous. Now, we are actually all witnessing something really important here. It's really nice to see our competitor, MindLab, who claims to be the only technology company in this industry, who visits distributors and intimidates them not to sell Nokta, who turns their back on their dealers, who've been supporting them and growing their brand and sales, who is suing their own distributor in the United States because they're selling Nokta, who sued our Chinese distributor in China and who lost the case, and who is also suing us again to unjustly strong arm a competitor. And it's nice to see now them admitting 5-6 years later, after the release of the Equinox, to realize that their multi-IQ was not the solution to all the problems the detectors were having, and releasing the product to compete with the best-selling product in many countries around the world, which is the Simplex. Dear MindLab, we want competition. You may want to be a monopoly in this industry, but guess what? The end users don't want that. The end users do not need that. They don't need a monopoly because they need options. And as Nokta, as long as we exist, we will make sure that we offer alternatives to these overpriced detectors as long as we exist. And to maintain healthy competition in this industry. Now, we know, MindLab, you're having some issues. We know that your sales are down. We know that your stock price is down. But guess what? This is not the way to deal with it. At least this is not the ethical way to deal with it. And we also know that the dealers, distributors, you guys all want to make more money. And you do enjoy these high-priced detectors because you make more dollars or euros. And we value each one of you. And we respect you. But for Nokta, everything starts with the end user. And we will always stand up for them and talk and speak up for them. So Nokta now is starting a perception campaign. Price is what you pay, guys, but value is what you get. Just because a detector costs $1,600, that doesn't mean you're getting a lot more performance or you're finding a lot more finds. Nokta wants this hobby to grow, and that can only be sustained with competition and affordable prices. How many people do you think in this industry can afford to pay $1,600 for a detector? And please don't get us wrong. When we say, let's say a customer loves a feature on a $1,600 detector, and they're ready to pay an extra $1,000 for that feature alone, we highly respect that as a manufacturer. However, what we will never accept and we will fight is the fact that these detectors at $1,600 are not performing a lot more or finding a lot more than the Legend. And here is an open invitation to everybody here and to everybody who's listening to me right now. Come challenge the Legend, but with our team. We don't want any fanboys making videos, okay? Come with your simultaneous multi-frequency detector, whatever it is. whether it's the Manticore, whether it's the Deus 2, whether it's the Equinox, doesn't matter. Come challenge us with my field team out on the field, no test beds, on a live dig, and let's compare 100 signals together. And I can tell you with 100% confidence that the chances that one of those detectors is gonna hit and the other one is gonna miss completely is almost non-existent. And here's an open invitation to all of you out there, because all these detectors perform very, very similarly to each other. And as Nokta, we are trying to be a company for the people. We're trying to be transparent. We acknowledge our mistakes. We don't try to hide them. And we're not perfect either. And we do make mistakes, but we know how to apologize for them, and we do our best to correct them. Because for Nokta, everything starts with the end users. And we put our end users, which is our biggest motivation, guys, before our profits. So we will fight to educate all the end users about this deception, where if they pay a lot more, they're gonna get a lot more, because we believe it is really not fair for the end users. This is all I wanted to share, and now we're gonna show you the new Simplex new generation series. As you know, guys, Simplex today is still unrivaled and the bestseller in many countries. Why? It is offered at an entry-level price point, yet it performs like a high-end machine when it comes to depth and some other factors. Now, the Simplex, many customers have been asking us to change things on the Simplex or to give an update on the Simplex software. However, we kept telling customers that we do not want to upgrade the Simplex and make it into another detector, because the Simplex is the best beginner's machine and we wanted to keep it simple. And we didn't want to turn it to a complicated machine with adding settings to it and a bunch of, giving a bunch of upgrades. However, we've been listening to all our end users, and now we are going to be offering a new generation of Simplex, which has been advanced in many ways. First, the ergonomics, the weight. The current Simplex, guys, weighs around 1,450 grams, around 1.4 kilos. Now, the new generation Simplex, based on the model you choose, if you go with the highest one, which is all carbon fiber shaft, which will change the system box and the armrest, weighs 1,180 grams only. So this is a huge difference between the current Simplex and the new generation Simplex. Now, what will be the differences between these detectors? The first one is called the Simplex Lite. The second one, the mid one, is called the Simplex BT, standing for Bluetooth. And the top one is called the Simplex Ultra. The Simplex Lite will be the cheapest model that we're going to be offering to customers who want a very easy to use machine and who do not care about wireless, using a wireless headphone. So this will not have any Bluetooth capability, yet it will have the performance of the Simplex. And what was I going to say? My throat is killing me. It's going to have a few modes and the basic settings to it. And it's going to come with the regular shaft of the current Simplex. One thing I have to mention though, the coils you're looking at right now, the shape on these coils will be changing. They were not ready for this show, so I couldn't bring them over, but the new generation Simplex coils will look different than these. All these detectors have been updated to 15 kilohertz from 12 kilohertz. And 15 kilohertz will be on all of them, which is the best frequency for all-round detecting. Now, this second one, the Simplex BT, will be replacing in the future the current Simplex Plus. This one now is going to work with Bluetooth, no more 2.4 gigahertz wireless, but we switched to Bluetooth. This is also 15 kilohertz. This has got the modes of the current Simplex and the settings of the current Simplex with a difference of maybe a setting or two. So when you want to compare the current Simplex Plus, this is the model you want to compare it to. If you look at these units, before I go to the Ultra one, you can see that the system boxes are a lot thinner now. And I actually want a volunteer. What is the current Simplex? Yeah. I actually want a volunteer to feel the current Simplex versus this one. Somebody? Anybody? So this is only 1,180, which is equal to, thank you, I believe around 2.5 pounds. So now, once we go to the Simplex Ultra, now this unit has got a lot more modes and it's got a lot of more settings that these Simplex users have been requesting from us. You know, such as your recovery speed, such as your, tone settings. So this is all in the Simplex Ultra now, and this unit will also come, the Ultra one will also come with the Bluetooth headphones in the package. So as you can see, we have made major improvements on the current Simplex. It was unrivaled. Now the best just got better. Hardware, software, mechanical, ergonomics, weight, everything has been changed in the Simplex. This is, now probably you're all gonna ask me what the price is gonna be, when it's gonna be available. As I said many times in the past, I am done with giving dates. I don't wanna upset any end users. I don't wanna upset any dealers and distributors. So until we know for a fact when we're starting to ship, we're not gonna share that. But it shouldn't be too long. And the price will be shared with our distributors and dealers in the upcoming days. So I'm sure they will also share that information with the end users. Any questions from the crowd here?
Everything is clear.
It looks like I shocked you guys with my speech. Nobody's...
I'm sorry, coil size will be the same for the three?
Yes, the coil size will be the same for all of them, whether it's the light, whether it's the You know what? I should put this away. Whether it's the light, whether it's the BT, whether it's the Ultra. Any other questions? Questions? No questions? Anyway, if you have any extra questions, you know, you can always reach us at any time. Thank you for listening. This is Dilek with Nokta Detectors, and I'm sorry I forgot to introduce him at the beginning, but I've been very sick, guys. That's why I have this, and I'm shivering. This is Volkan. He's our sales manager. And thank you so much for your support, for being here. Nokta Detectors.
Will the pinpointer be able to connect with this?
Our new upcoming pinpointer, yes, it will be able to connect with us as well as the legend. Yes. Okay? Thank you so much.
Do we have a price on
We will share that very soon with the distributors and dealers, but you can bet that it's going to be very competitively priced, as always. Okay? Nokta Detectors loves you. Bye.
Beni kapatır mısınız? Yukarıda çarpıyor.